All right, same concept. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions or anything at all, please feel free to interrupt me. I'm always more than willing to stop to basically just hear you guys out or just to emphasize on certain aspects that you guys want to learn a little bit more about. So, with that being said, let's begin with the first pairs. I'm gonna go over every single pair that I got, and then just see potentially what the market could do for us for this rest of the week. And I do apologize for yesterday because the fact that I have Spectrum, and Spectrum is only available where I live at, and that's the only thing that sucks about it. But okay, so first things first, we analyze the markets looking at the monthly. Just to emphasize that fact is that we analyze them just because of the fact that we want to see the bigger picture, the potential for the market for the rest of the week or the rest of the month. Overall, we're just trying to generalize what the potential move can be in smaller time frames. So far we have basic information. Market has a bearish trend line. Market broke away and it's now hitting the support at this level. Has not necessarily broken below that, but it does have a lot of, in a sense, not enough momentum to maintain a downside just because of these wicks that I see. Overall momentum on AUDUSD seems to be bullish overall in a higher time frame. So first things first, daily. Overall, daily has respected this trend line, bearish trend line once, twice, and three times, multiple times to be exact. It's within that zone where it's starting to consolidate. You see this giant ass wick on the downside, meaning that there's a lot of exhaustion going on. Now we look into the smaller time frame, 4 hour. So basic information we see when it comes down to AUD/USD is this: market has broken away from this bearish trend. We tested it, and it's now within that consolidation. We did see a breakaway when the market first started yesterday, but we started to see these wicks. Overall, market had to fill the gap. Basically, this information right here, and if I'm being completely honest, my bias on the AUD/USD is definitely bullish. But overall, I'm just trying to be patient with this specific pair because of the fact that it is within the consolidation zone. It could definitely range within the zone and move up and down, but my expectation is for it to break away from the upside and potentially retest. But the only thing that I'm actually waiting for is a bullish candle, full candle to break away from here, and then that would just give me my indication to get into this setup as a buy. And my potential take profit will be within this zone. And the reason that is because that's the last low that we see in the market. Other than this is the last low that we see in the market and the last resistance at this point. So we definitely do see potential for the market to hit higher highs at this point. So my expectation for AUD/USD is a buy overall and just wait for it to break away from this consolidation. If you want to if you want to wait for it to break away and retest, then you can definitely wait and expect that momentum. But overall, just be patient. There's no need to rush into this, especially in a consolidating market. It's very dangerous to get in at this point overall because market can definitely go bearish and retest and just maintain a downward trend. So it's better to be patient on that. So EU, my expectation for you, if you guys can tell already, has been bullish. Overall, we're going to look at the monthly just to give you a generalization of what I see. So market has respected this bearish trend line multiple times. There's a retest at this support and resistance zone. So the market is within that exact level. It hasn't necessarily given any indication that it's going to go below that, but it's very prominent as far as it hasn't broken that resistance zone. So we look at the monthly and we look at the daily. So overall on the daily, information is basic, same information, market respect to this trend line, and it's within that zone where it has in a sense created a double bottom, which is very good information for us as far as potential buyers. So we look at the small time frame 4 hour, market has broken away from this resistance and support area, and it's retesting it exactly at that level. Another indication would also be the fact that it's retesting on this trend line. And multiple times we've had a market have a double bottom on the higher time frame at this point. So overall market retested and is retested on the 78.3 and within the 50% on the Fibonacci level. So overall, we are seeing the market get at that point where we can definitely see momentum on the upside. I mean, I didn't say 74.3, 61.8 to be exact. And it's within that level where it's consolidating. So overall, my momentum on EU is definitely bullish, but we can definitely see market break away from this and retest and go downward. Let me mute the people. Okay. So overall, momentum for EU is bullish from my expectation is because the market has broken away from this resistance support zones and it has retested at the 61.8, and it's definitely potentially could potentially hit the 27% on a Fibonacci level just based on the fact that it's retesting on trend line, and on the fact that it's broken away from this bearish
His
trend.
volume is low.
Uh, let me see. All right, I'm muting everybody. Okay, so that's EU so far. Now we're looking at UCAD. UCAD expectation. Let's look at the monthly. So overall, when we see UCAD on the monthly, very basic information. Market is respecting this bullish trend line, and it's within that zone that it's almost about to burst, meaning that the market has started consolidating. It's within that general area where it could potentially go either way. So we can definitely see the market maintain a bullish direction, but overall, what goes up must come down. So we're seeing a lot of exhaustion on the upside. So definitely momentum on the downside is expected, but at the same time, momentum on the upside is probable because of the fact that it has broken away from that bearish trend line that I just drew. So overall, on a daily, we do see information based on the fact that market has, in a sense, been consolidating, broken, and we started consolidating again. If you know anything about UCAD, it does that continuously for a lot, and once it breaks away, it has these giant as moves. So UCAD is a very volatile pair. Overall, would not recommend it if you're barely starting to trade. Do not trade UCAD. If you want to test that out, you can definitely do it, but not with real money. So while we have this bullish trend line being respected on the 4 hour, we test once, twice, three, four times, and it's within that area. We do see a lot of resistance on the upside. So overall momentum for UCAD could potentially be bearish, but at the same time, we got to keep into consideration what we saw in the monthly, which is the fact that the market has respected this bullish trend line. I'm not saying that this is no longer valid. I'm just telling you to keep an eye on it, just because there's potential for the market to retest it and respect it continuously for a little bit longer. So overall, market has now recently, at this moment, broken away from this period of resistance support zone. So overall momentum for UCAD is definitely bearish at this point. Um, on the 1 hour, we can definitely see based on the bullish trend line, the market respected it, maintain a bearish direction, and it's within that general area where it could definitely move a little bit lower below that. So I saw that somebody sent a post about UCAD, and their momentum was that they're potentially see TP all the way down here, which is probable because of this market is starting to show a lot of bearish signs, especially on the monthly where we do see those wicks. But at the same time, just to be considerate of the fact that it's better to be, in a sense, confident but not greedy. It's better to expect the market to at least retest within this general area, which is its previous support and resistance zone. So if we do get into UCAD within this next few hours, if I'm being completely honest, the fact that it has broken away from this resistance is a lot of indicators for me that it's going to maintain a bearish trend. Overall, we can expect a retest and then push down when it comes down to UCAD. So overall, UCAD bias is very bearish. So now let's go to UJ. UJ is simple to analyze. Hasn't moved that much, to be honest. Overall, market has respected this bearish trend line, and it's now retesting at this exact point. We do see a lot of wicks on the downside, meaning that there is seller's exhaustion. When we look at the daily, overall market has respected another bearish trend line indicated from this point, and overall it has created in a sense a double bottom. We do see more wicks on the downside, meaning that there's a lot more sellers exhaustion going on. Market is starting to give us that direction as far as all this consolidation is starting to become much more momentum as far as once it breaks away, it's going to definitely tell us exactly where it's going to go. My expectation for UJ is definitely to be bullish. Overall, if I had seen this in yesterday, because my internet was working out, Spectrum sucks, to be honest, guys. Don't ever get the Spectrum if you have the ability to choose anything else. Overall, marketing had this giant ass wick on the downside. We tested it on the support and resistance zone, and there is a lot of momentum for the market to maintain a bullish direction and potentially hit at this level, which is its previous high and previous support and resistance zone, other than this consolidation zone. So overall expectation for this market is definitely bullish. In fact, at this point right now, there's a probability to get into a trade setup just because of the fact that your risk to reward ratio would be genuinely not that risky, because of the fact that if the market does break away from this and breaks away from this level, you can highly expect the market to go bearish because of the fact that once it breaks this confirmation as a bullish trend is no longer valid. So overall, we can definitely expect the market to maintain this consolidation and probably go up to here with which is a 269 pip gain and versus a 98 pip loss. So overall, I'm just generalizing it right now, just really happen. But overall, you have to make your own analysis to potentially see what you can identify in this market. So overall, UJ is bullish for me just because of that fact that we do see on a higher time frames a lot of respects when it comes down to trend lines, especially on the daily and monthly. So now let's go to Ripple. All right. So Ripple has been weird. I mean, Bitcoin has and cryptocurrencies have been weird in general, to be honest. There's not enough volatility in them, and I don't expect them to have much volatility because of the fact that they're becoming a currency. So overall, my expectations for cryptocurrencies is just that they're going to maintain within the general area. I really don't expect that it's going to go back to 20 21,000 because, in all honesty, it's starting to become a form of currency. So if that happens, there's a lot of people that are going to lose money or going to make money based on that expectation. So overall, market is respecting this trend line when it comes down to this bearish on the daily. So overall, can you guys see me? Okay. All right. So overall, market has respected this bearish trend line. Overall, we tested at this level, and we do start to see a lot of wicks on the downside on the daily. So now we look at the time frame when it comes on the 4 hour. I've been in this trade for a minute. It has, in a sense, consolidated, and it's been in profits for overall. Just the fact that it is consolidating is starting to show me that there's a lot of momentum within either side. We do see wicks on the downside and on the upside, and we do see an ascending triangle and descending triangle when it comes down to this specific trade setup. So for me, honestly, my bias for Ripple is still bullish. I haven't had any indication that it's going to maintain a downward trend just because of the fact that we do see a lot of respect when it comes down to the support right here at this level. So overall, my expectation for Ripple is to maintain a bullish trend, at least to this level, and retest this consolidation zone when it comes down to this resistance. And then from that point forward, once it breaks away from here, then definitely we can see a momentum up to its previous highs, which is within this general area. So expectation for real to maintain a bullish trend probable, but at the same time keep an eye on it because it's within a triangle, and at the same time whichever it breaks away from and a retest, that definitely gives us a direction as far as where to potentially go. So now let's go to US 30. um, so as far as US 30 is concerned, there's been a lot of news about economic crash and all that stuff. I haven't really been paying attention to it, if I'm being completely honest, but I do take that into consideration. And that has to do a lot with people's psychology and psychic and all that stuff. And it's going to do a lot of influence when it comes down to US 30 because it is an indice and it's based on the stock market. So overall, we do see a bullish trend on a monthly market retested and it has not pushed above this level. So that is very important information to grasp. It has not pushed above this level. Now we look at the daily overall market is respecting the bullish trend up to this extent. Then where it hits this level and it starts to consolidate within this general zone, we do see a lot of wicks on the downside. Maybe that's good news for us. Maybe the market is not going to crash within the next few months. Maybe take another year. But overall, there's high probability for US 30 to maintain bullish trend just because of the fact that we do see the market retest on this bearish trend line, break away from it, and it's no longer giving us momentum on the downside. The only thing that's giving me iffy thoughts about it is the fact that it's retesting this resistance zone over here. This resistance and support zone based on this level, the fact that it hasn't broken away from it. We do see a lot of wicks on the downside, which is very good information, meaning that there is a lot of exhaustion when it comes down to sellers. But this also means that there's a tug of war between them at the same time. So overall, my expectation for US 30 is bullish, but I'm just gonna wait until it breaks away from this level and potentially retest and give us direction to at least get into this trade. You can definitely get into this trade as a confidence trade, but when it comes down to US 30, I do not like to play with it because even on a small lot size, this is a lot of money to lose. So overall, I'm just waiting for the market to break away from this. Just to give us a little bit more detail, let's look at the 1 hour. Overall, market is showing us more momentum on the upside at the same time, but better rather be safe than sorry. So I'm just gonna wait for that. If anything, I might get into it just based on my confidence in this trade, and my stop loss would definitely be within this general area. From here to delete that, we're long in this position. From here to here, overall, given this probability that market, if it does hit below this level, we can definitely say that this market is no longer giving us a validation for it to go up. So overall, just expect to see what you want to see as far as US trade is concerned. My expectation is to go bullish. I'm leaning into getting to the position just because of the fact that my risk to reward ratio is relatively small. But overall, I'd rather be confident. I'm just gonna wait out and see what happens within the next few hours. So now let's go to gold. Um, I've been trading gold now, so I like gold now because it's very simple to trade as far as it's concerned. So overall, we do see on the monthly a bullish trend line being respected multiple times. The market broke away from it, and now it's retesting within that general area. Other thing that to keep in mind is the fact that we do see this resistance supports are being created. So we have a lot of support from this level, and now we see resistance at this point. Let me tell you something very specifically and very good that's going to help you when it comes down to trading. Most of the times when it comes down to trend lines, it's not going to hit it exactly. So be aware of previous resistance support zones to give you an idea where the market could potentially stop and maintain a bearish direction or bullish direction. It's not always going to be tested exactly when it comes down to the trend. So that's why I'm keeping aware when it comes down to gold. Overall, we look at the daily market is respecting that point. We do see these wicks on the upside, which is very, very information you should not take for granted. The market has not pushed above this point. Overall, my expectation for gold, if I'm being completely honest, is I'm maintaining the bearish momentum. Yes, I know on a 4 hour we do see a breakaway and a retest, but on a higher time frame, we tend to see more valid confirmations because they're much more, in a sense, structured and much more relevant because of the fact that takes more time for them to form. Overall, we do see these wicks on the upside, meaning that there's a lot of exhaustion. There has not been a break away from this, and there's also the fact that it hits on the support and resistance zone. So overall, on the 1 hour, same concept. We do see this triangle. I'm pretty sure somebody sent this on the group chat, but overall, at the same time, my expectation for gold is that it's going to maintain a bearish momentum because of the fact that on the higher time frame, we do see that support resistance being hit on the end of wicks being respected. So overall, my expectation is bearish. And if the TP is expected for gold, my TP would definitely be within this general area just to be safe, not greedy. And my stop loss would be above this, just to give you an idea of what it would look like. From here to here, that's like a 50-50, which is not trades that I like to take. But overall, when it comes down to gold, is a fairly new paradigm trading. So overall, I'm gonna practice with it, play with it, just see how it works. But overall expectation is TP from this level and even below that, just because of the fact that once it breaks this, the momentum on the upside is no longer valid, so it's not going to create a new trend, which is on the downside. So that's basically it for all the pairs. If you guys have any questions, please ask away. If you guys don't